How you doing, guys? West the King here. Um, my thoughts on the 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest. It was a good result, but I feel like we can play a lot better. To me, that first half wasn't good enough. That first half wasn't good enough. The fact that we got the early goal, 6 minute by Harry Kane, of course, but we really didn't lay it on to Nottingham Forest. Let Nottingham Forest stay in our box throughout that first half, and even though it's clear they're not good enough to really break us down and score goals on us and be too much of a threat, they were still in in our box, and they were still creating half chances that, on another day could have led to goals, and we could have been looking at this game a whole lot differently. I am happy with the win. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy we got the 3 points. It's starting to be one of our best starts in Hotspurs. Premier League beginning of the season in history. Especially if we can win against West Ham next game, it's really going to be seen as one of the best starts we've had, and really can really turn heads around the league and around the world to see that we are serious and that we can hopefully maybe surprising people and possibly contend, which is what I want to see, personally. Even though I believe in my club, but our first half wasn't good enough. Let's start with Son. Let's talk about Son. That's the elephant in the room. Son is not playing good at all. His confidence is all the way down. He's just not fighting. To me, he's not fighting off of the defender to get off of him and fight for the ball. Every time somebody just comes at his back, he just falls. He frails around, and I'm sick of it. He knows he's been in the Premier League long enough to know how players play. They play rough and tumble in the Premier League. There's no easy crap. There's no finesse really in Premier League. You're going to get pounded, especially if you're a key player. And you see the Salahs and all those type of other wingers that are successful in this league. They're able to get off the pressure and still be able to create chances and score goals. Son is right now showing to me a little bit of a weak-minded mentality. He needs to just go hard and he needs to just fight back. I understand that he has like more he thinks more finesse. He's not that kind of player that rough and tumbles on defenders and stuff like that. But I think he needs to start getting to that side. I think Conte needs to start explaining and try to put that into his mentality, especially if he's going to continue his consistency of being one of the best wingers in the world. He can't just frail because he getting pressured. He looks weak. Sorry, he's my favorite player, but he looks weak on his side. He's strong enough to fight off these defenders and get around and keep the ball and keep possession of the ball and go bombing down that left side. And right now he's just showing weakness. He's every time he catches the ball, just because he got the defender on his back, oh, I'm gonna fall, and boom, he gives up possession every single time. It's getting on my nerves. And when you see Kulusevski on the other side, he's fighting through it. He's still trying to go down that right side, bombing forward as fast as he can, trying to get something to happen, fighting out defenders, roughing and tumbling them. He got to be like Kulusevski. Kulusevski's been kind of doing that, even though it hasn't led to a whole bunch of goals since that first game with Southampton. It's been doing his job on the right side and creating chances. So I think Son just got to be a lot better than what's showing right now. Could Charleston go over him? It's possible Charleston could probably play over him. I don't think they're going to do it for West Ham. I think West Ham is too big of a game. For Sonny to be left out and just be subbing in as a substitute. But I think if Conte decides to do it, I'm not going to be mad about it, because Son just hasn't been good enough at that left wing. And it's clear that whenever Richarlison shows up on the team, that shows up and subs in, that he makes a difference. He got an assist today with Kane. He's doing what he's doing. He's even playing around with the defender's mind, doing juggles and stuff, just getting on their nerves. And that's the thing Richarlison do. He can do stuff like that. So I really like Richarlison. I think Richarlison is ready to go. Royale played decent. Not much else to say. Played decent. I still feel it's not good enough. I feel like Spence is the better choice, and everybody played well today. Now, nobody really played horrible. I'm just really picking through who I mostly saw out there. Of course, Kane, he's man of the match. Of course, 2 goals. That's clockwork for him. But let's just get to Spence. I love that Spence came out there, finally made his debut pretty much. Um, Spence is fast as hell. Spence is fast, bro. Like, that dude is ready. He was trying to, it's very similar to how Hill played whenever he got subbed in, making the difference, being that speed, being that extra option. He was pretty much doing that. And surprisingly, at right wing, he didn't put him at right wing back. He kept Royale out there. But I think Royale needed to be looking over his shoulder because, to me, Spence it's clear that he has that attacking prowess. He has that attacking ambition. He didn't get to really show it. He only had like 6 minutes really to really do anything. Really didn't get a touch of the ball at all because for some reason nobody's passing the ball. But to me, I think he showed the technical side of himself. He showed the positioning side of Spence. And I feel like we could really use him at right wing back. Him and Perisic as our wing backs, to me, would be deadly. I think Conte just feels like he's not ready just yet, which is fine. Hopefully he plays in the League Cup matches. Hopefully he plays in the FA Cup matches maybe. To really start showing him his prowess on the field. But as of right now, I just don't think Conte sees him as being ready just yet. But Spence is definitely my number one choice for right wing back. Doherty has disappeared. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if Doherty is going to be seeing himself out. I don't know, but it's clear it's not going to happen. Like, he's not catching on the team at all. I don't know. I think maybe Spence has already beaten Doherty out. That may be the case already. Who knows? But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want to see Doherty just completely disappear. But other than that, it's a decent win. Decent win. Great. Still undefeated. I'm happy about that. But stay undefeated. Let's really show these guys. You already know Arsenal fans gonna be up and high because they have won their first 4 games and have not tied or lost. They're gonna probably be thinking invincible season or wherever the hell. They're not that good. They're not that good. Let's go ahead and get that way. Arsenal is not that good yet. They haven't won against no actual opposition that can actually contend with them at all. They have had one of probably the most easiest schedules in the Premier League to start off with. That's facts. They have not had one real team to really challenge them. A lot of them are going to say Crystal Palace was a real challenge. And Crystal Palace, they've been kind of, since that first opening couple games, they've been kind of, fendering off again. So I don't, no. I have to, let's see until another month and 2 in before we start talking about Arsenal really doing something. But they've had an excellent start, but they're not. No, they're going to fall off sooner or later. They're going to go back to reality because they haven't won against no real oppositions just yet. Until they do that and actually beat those opponents and all that, and pretty much like do the results like we just got with Chelsea, then they can go ahead and kind of pump their chest. But right now, they've had easy opponents to play against that they should be beating. Honestly, and that's just a fair football perspective. That's not nothing on the rivalry and all that. That's just facts that they've had an easy schedule to start off with, and they beat opponents that they should be beating. But I feel like with our schedule, we've probably had the best results out of our beginning schedule because we were able to get positive results out of Chelsea. We had some hard games with Wolves, and then disappointing today, Nottingham Forest, but we're still able to get positive results, still undefeated, and I think we had 2 clean sheets in a row now. So I take it as this is a great start, and now we just got to beat West Ham. No, I don't want no tie, I don't want no loss. Let's beat West Ham. They just won their game by 1 goal. They're not really firing all cylinders at all. This is an opportunity to bash them. Let's kill them because they're definitely not on our level. So we should be beating them. I don't care. We should be beating them. I know they're usually a top 6, top 7 side. We should be beating them though because we're a better team right now. We're in better flow than they are. Even though we don't have all 3 of our attacking players all on top form, except for just Kane and maybe a little bit Kulusevski. But I feel like if Son can play in that beginning game, I feel like Son can do something. So that's my thoughts on the game, man. I think this is a great start. This is a good start, though. This is a good start. Now we just got to keep going on to the next one. Keep getting positive results. Keep getting 3 points, and let's see how we do by the time World Cup comes around. So Come on, you Spurs. Wesley King is out.